the dawn's early light, what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
All right, good evening, folks. Tonight we got the Tour Modifieds here for the Five Kings Motorsports Crooked Line Racing. Getting set. Good little track here tonight, Tanners. Definitely some more short track racing. This actually looks a little bit bigger than some of the short tracks we've seen.
Boy, oh boy, Joe, it may look bigger, but looks so deceiving. When these lights come out on this track, it starts to get a little bit darker. They're going to be slipping and sliding. It's going to be a... So I said I thought we had a two groove track last week, and we kind of did at portions. But tonight, Five Flags, there's two grooves here. They can make it work tonight. I look for some good racing here tonight. I'm hoping.
Absolutely.
We're hopeful at least.
Well, yeah, and like you just said, as long as they can get in those two groove style racing, I think it should be a pretty good thing. It looks like Thomas Axiom, though, he's a man putting it on pole here tonight.
Yeah, I mean, he's been on a hot streak thus far in these 8 races. He's won 4 of the races. He's first in the points, and he comes out here and puts it on the pole. So looking really stout right now.
Absolutely. So we're getting set here to go racing soon. A Five Flag. It's kind of cool. You got Five Kings Motorsports at Five Flag Speedway. There you go.
I tell you what, Joe, you're like the third person today that's mentioned that. So Jason was making a post for us on Five Kings earlier, and he kept putting Five Kings instead of Five Flags, just out of habit more than anything. But yeah, it's kind of funny you said that. I'm gonna see if I can ring up our post editor right now, Thomas Axiom, get a word with him before we get everything shaken out here tonight. I see he's got his mic muted. Thomas Axiom, this is Joe White and Tanner Marr in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
So Thomas, you brought it home P2 last week after looking really strong. I think the fresher tires got you there, because I think you definitely had the most dominant car coming in tonight. Five Flags, what's your outlook tonight, brother?
I haven't been on iRacing all week. I just got home from for a vacation. I got to turn 100 laps or so right now. Car's gonna get tight. The tires definitely do play effect, but a huge field also does play an effect. So at the end of the race, if there's still a lot of cars towards like halfway, 3/4. I don't know if the struggle to try and pass them all.
Right.
Very close field. It's about a 1/10.5 from first to like second to last. Like a 1/10.5. Pretty crazy.
So do you think tonight with Five Flags in the super lates, that guy on the outside, I mean, he can get hung out to dry, but not as bad as what we've seen at other tracks like, say, Bullring, Myrtle Beach. Do you think the high side has any chance here tonight?
I'm not sure with the modified. With the super, there's definitely probably some high side warriors up there because it can pinch.
Mm-hmm.
With the modified, there's not a lot of pinching, and when there's too much pinching, there's more spinning than pitching.
Right.
So I'm going to say it's going to be a bottom feeder tonight. As the race goes on, the top's going to come in though.
Right on, Thomas. Well, before we get you out of here, you put it on the pole. That's the top dog. First in the points, looking good. You got any sponsors or shout out you want to throw out there before we send you back over?
So shout out to you guys for putting on the broadcast. I love going back and watching them. The Five Kings Motorsports guys, you owner of Five Kings Motorsports, Crooked Line Racing League, Studios 10 Designs, Bernier's Liquors, Ryan Q Motorsports.
Right on, Thomas. Well, we appreciate you coming out, brother. Hope to see you perform like you have all season. 4 wins, chasing win number 5 tonight, Thomas Axiom. Good luck to you, brother.
Thank you, guys.
And, you know, we've seen Thomas in the past be able to just come through the field and do awesome stuff. Now he's starting out front.
Yeah, you don't have to come to the field very hard tonight, huh? The one thing, Joe, that I heard in that interview right there, though, he said with this big field, I got to start thinking about lap traffic. You know, like that will play a hand in tonight's race at some point. It just has to.
Now, let's go back on that a minute. I feel like it will as long as it goes green flag, and I say that week in and week out. Yeah, we gotta have a long run on the green flag, and I've said that about short track racing for the longest time. I mean, even like tracks like Bristol, Martinsville, it's the same way. The leader on a long green flag run eventually is going to run into lap traffic, and when he does at that point, it's a danger lurks at every corner because he usually will never get out of lap traffic the longer it keeps going. Now, obviously, we go back to, unfortunately, cautions can just definitely bunch everybody right back up, and then, you know, cautions breed cautions and so forth, so on. But you're right. by what he said, a long green flag run, he gets in the lap traffic. This place hard to pass. It could be dangerous for him, leader, or anybody else.
You're exactly right, Joe. We actually got our guy starting on the outside, row number 1 in the pole, Mr. Brad Carpenter. There's Tanner and Joe White in the OSR booth. You got a copy?
I got you guys.
So, Mr. Carpenter, if I do recall, you've qualified pretty good the past few weeks. Didn't you qualify pole last week at Fairgrounds?
I did. I had other things on my mind because we had a volleyball party for my daughter's college teammates here, and it was on the back of my mind, and I kind of made a mistake early in the race and hit the wall, so it made my night short. But I don't have that tonight.
I was gonna say, hopefully you're fully focused here at Five Flags, starting out in the day, going to transition over to the night. This track's going to get gripped up. Hearing reports that the setup's kind of tight. Talk me through it. How you expect the night to go for you, Brad?
Well, I'm on the outside pole this time, and last 2 times I've been on the pole, it hasn't gone well. But it does get tight, and you're going to see cars bounce off the middle, off of 4, the middle front stretch, and probably off of 2 on the back stretch, and that's going to cause some problems, I think. But we'll see.
That's funny that you said that. So in our Discord chat, I said over or under, there's at least 3 cautions from somebody pushing off turn 4 up into the wall. So sounds like we're about on the same track there. We're both going to go over with that bet.
Yeah, it's going to happen.
Right on, Brad. Before we send you back, we got about a minute and a half before we go to grid. You got any sponsors to shout out you want to throw out there?
Just Bob's Pet and Pawn, and that's about it right now.
Oh, right on, brother. I'm gonna try to get Bradley up here real quick. Carpenter, good luck to you, buddy, and we'll maybe be talking to you at the end.
We'll see this time, right?
Thanks. Right. Good luck, buddy. See if I can squeeze Mr. Bradley Yo in here.
I do like this track, though. I am good.
Whoop, Bradley Yo, this is Senator Mar, Joe White, and OSR booth. We do apologize for interrupting you. We got about a minute left here. How you doing tonight, buddy?
Fantastic. Yourselves?
Well, we're doing good. We butted in on your conversation, heard that you do like this track tonight. So, starting on the second row inside, how you like your chances of coming in here tonight?
I'm liking it. Like I said, this is one of my favorite tracks on the service. I'm a little rusty in the Tour Modified. Haven't ran it in a while, but excited to give her a go.
Do you remember what we talked about before I left the Discord chat?
I do.
All right, 10-4, Brad. We got just about 30 seconds left. Got to go through the grid. You drivers are about to get strapped in, buckled in. Good luck to you tonight, Brad. Maybe we'll be talking to you at the end, brother.
Sounds good. Thank you, sir. Have a good race, guys.
You have a good race. There you have it, Mr. White. That's your top 3 qualifiers for tonight's Five Kings Motorsports Crooked Line Racing Tour Modifieds at Five Flags Speedway.
Absolutely, and we're getting set here to go racing tonight, and it's going to be a good one. Short track style, like I said, Tour Modifieds, and I know last night I was calling them, I think, late models for some reason. I don't know why, but modifieds, and it was a good race last night. I know, as coming from the league standpoint, you guys were like, I don't know, but hey, it was exciting. This short track guys got out there, little tempers were flying, beating and banging. Here we are again in a short track series, and I tell you, it's funny, and I got to go back too. I don't know who it was, but we talked a little bit before the race here, Tanner, and one of the gentlemen out there was commenting about you was going to bring the chicken. So did you bring the chicken tonight?
I did not bring no chicken tonight, unfortunately. So that was Nicholas Casey that said that. So Nicholas Casey, I'm sure you're tuned in watching out in viewerland. Need you back out here on track, Nicholas, and we'll bring you some chicken if you come out here and put it on the pole or maybe win the race for us.
And that's what I was telling him. If you go back and watch the broadcast post, hey, look, you hear anything here with us guys up here in the booth? With me, that's what it's about, fun, interacting with what you guys do out there in the viewer land, because I tell you, y'all watch it too with us, watching this awesome action of these drivers. And I did find out too, and I want to go ahead and correct it. Bradley out there, I was calling him Yo for the longest time. Well, now we found out what his last name is, Yo. So, Yo is going to be in 3rd place, and Yo, that guy, man, looks quick.
Yeah, that's going to be a running punchline here tonight.
It is, I will tell you, yeah.
Because honestly, I'm going to put that $10 bet that was on me last night to finish third. I'm going to put that bet down and say that I call him Yeo before this race is over with. Because
Me too. I probably will.
Hey, we get into action, these drivers, they get out there, they start beating and banging, they get close, we get excited, and then you just never know what we're going to say. We try to keep it PG rated, of course, but we do get excited. We have fun up in the booth. So for now, he's Bradley Yo, but they get out here racing hard, he might be Yeo.
Through that, but Thomas Axiom, the man up front, and we've seen him many a times, him come through the field and be able to get it going. Another guy that, I know when it comes to the super late models, is definitely bad fast coming through the field. That's Chris Carroll, who actually won last night. Now, when it comes to the Tour Modifieds, you got to be a little bit more careful, coming through the field with these guys and with these cars. So he's back in 14th. Got a little bit more work to get done to come through the field, but he definitely can do it.
He told us that he's not very comfortable in these cars. Only done a few races with them. So it's going to be interesting here tonight, Joe, to see how he's able to take his knowledge of super late models on short tracks and translate that over to modifieds. Because, we talk about it every week. These cars are a lot different than a super late model or your standard NASCAR style car. They're more linked to a Indy car, I would say.
Absolutely. We're getting set here to go green flag racing. These guys tonight about to gear these things up. By Kings Motorsports. Crooked Line racing here. Thomas Axiom and company out front.
Want to wait for that green flag to fly, Joe.
Yeah, it is. Green flag. Here we go. Thomas gets a pretty good jump out there. Carpenter's on the high side. Everybody's going to try to probably get single file the best they can because we talked about how hard it will be to pass here. With the new tires, we've talked many times, you got to be aggressive with those new tires because once they get kind of evened out, it's going to be hard to pass.
Yes, but we have seen some races start with some early cautions, so I'm kind of hoping maybe these drivers just kind of get in line, get in where they fit in, basically, and just start turning some laps. But if you look further on back in the pack, you got some side-by-side racing. Them boys haven't figured it out yet. They're still jockeying for everything they can get.
Oh, yeah, no doubt about it. Good racing on the back end here so far.
There really is. There's some good side-by-side 2x2 racing throughout the pack here. Pretty good. As you look back here, Keith Mack and these boys, they've single filed out here tonight now, and they're going to try to get in that rhythm here, folks, where they're just going to click off laps and just. This is a big rhythm-based track. Most of these short tracks are, but you can get in a rhythm on these short tracks out here, and you can really start clicking off some laps. You're turning a 16.1, 16.2 second lap. And if you get in a rhythm, you get in a good enough rhythm, before you know it, you're on lap 20, lap 25. Tonight's competition caution will be lap 50. So, as it stands right now, that's the only stage, quote-unquote, scripted caution we have tonight. After that, it's up to these boys. If they want to go green flag from lap 1 to 50, awesome. If they want to go from lap 50 to 125, that's even better. Ooh, as we see, Jason Day gets into Keith Mack slightly there. Slight contact into Keith Mack from Jason Day. Folks, we apologize. Joe is having some difficulties on his end right now, so we are trying to get that sorted out as we speak. I think we're getting it sorted out now, boys. But yeah, unfortunately, Jason Day Jason Day got into Keith Mack just a little bit there, Joe, and just got him all around. Barely clipped him, but did get him.
Let's go back on the replay here, and we'll double check it right fast. Just we're here on Jason Day's part, looking at the replay. Out there by himself. You know, the closing rate's so quick on these cars. Guy in front maybe, just checks up just a little bit. Next thing you know, you're in the back of them. And still riding. Still seeing. And still going. Well. There he went, yep. Guess got in the back of him just a little bit. Yep.
Mr. White, when you get time, can you share your screen with me so I can see what you're seeing, my brother?
Yeah. Just
like we got Keith Mack going down pit lane here. I'm not sure what fuel's like here tonight, Joe. I think
I'm not either.
Fuel to make it. Normally we talk to Dalton. Dalton is our fuel guru. He's having internet issues. He won last week. I think he's just saying he had internet issues and didn't want to start in the back. That's what I'm thinking. But
I want to apologize out there too. It's blinked a couple times for people out there. That's why I stepped away just to see if I could do things. So is what it is. That's normally a Tuesday night thing, iRacing or whatever. They have their big races running too.
The Coca-Cola series or whatever.
Yeah.
And a few others going.
We got Thomas still out front, Carpenter there in second. We got Yo sitting in third. I'm gonna have to get used to that with Yo. In
That's
third.
gonna be tough. That's gonna be tough.
Yeah. It's just you would.
It looks
usually
so natural,
when I say that, well, when you say like, I'm used to saying "Hey Yo," and so that's where I'm kind of like, not used to calling somebody's name, hey Yo, or yeah.
Right. Yo, back here in third place, fighting for the lead.
Yo, back in third place. Yeah.
It's just
we're not laughing at you, Bradley. But
no,
we're still
not.
No, I mean, we don't want to make fun of anybody's name or anything like that. But it's just,
I wish I was named something cool. I got named
It
Tanner.
is a cool name, man. I mean, you gotta get. I mean, can you imagine coming up and your name just being Yo? I mean,
right.
Hey, Yo, green flag, Axiom out front.
As you see Yo down on the inside, it's like Yo, what are you doing? So like
that's it. I mean, trying to get everything you can.
It's going to be the theme of the night. But yes, absolutely. On these restarts, we talk about it. You got to get everything you can, and that's what he's trying to do here. But Jason Raymond able to put that power down on the outside and got clear of him.
I mean, Coffee right behind him trying to do everything he can. Now you can see that car got a little tight, shot up the track. Saw that last night. Cars got tight. I know you were battling a little bit with that tight feeling, and the car just got up there and guy got inside of you. And that's the way you pass right there. It's textbook, and that's about the way these guys are going to be able to. You see, what it did was open the door for Murphy and Powell, but Powell wasn't able to get there in time. So now Yo was able to go back down and get that spot back in between them. But just like that, it's a perfect example. And then we've seen that all season, guys, just with these cars. It's like a magnet on that wall. They get up there and it rides it. But that's what we saw last night, and I think that's how guys are going to pass, other than the fact of, like you said in your interview, getting into someone. But is a guy in front of you kind of getting a little bit tight, running up the track, and then you just being in the right place, right time.
Yes, last night, if there's any reoccurring viewers, so on Tuesday nights I'm in the booth, Monday nights I'm out on track. Brought home third place last night, but man, the setup was so finicky. If you missed your mark just by a little bit, you was going to wash up the track. And saw it all night when I watched the broadcast back. Did a fabulous job also, Joe. You and Alex had to do a good job up in the booth on Monday nights.
It was having fun, man. I tell you, it was a good race. I know, a little frustrating out there, some of the drivers, but some good solid, battling. I love the part about whether or not you're going to pit or not. That's kind of what this series has really brought about. Is it's becoming a lottery of will the leader pit or not, and it's becoming a theme to every race now, to where like we're up here in the booth and we're going, okay, is that leader, like say Thomas, is he going to pit this whole entire race, or is he going to stay out and gamble it? And we've seen time and time again that it can pay off and pay dividends. So there you go. I mean, that's kind of cool, you know, to sit back and worry about it.
It's a big risk when you're out there on track. So last night when we were running third, I mean, there was times, Joe, I'll be honest, where I wanted to pit, but luckily we had 5 Kings, the whole team in there with us, and we made a pact. If those guys that did pit, if they came up through the field fast, then we had to pit.
Yeah.
But until they got there to us, we didn't have to pit. But if you notice, late in that race with about 5-6 laps to go, they were there. But it was obviously too late to pit then.
You know, and even I mentioned that, or you go back and we were talking, and I was telling Alex, I said, you know, at some point, you know, the guys up front, I definitely, made your bed, lay in it. You're not going to pit at that point. But like guys like Stentz and Zinnerman, who was on newer tires, were coming through the field. I said the only way that those top guys are going to pit is what you said, is if they pass them. And then even then, pitting, because it was at lap 90 or it was almost 95 at 100, I said even then, you know you're probably not going to win the race anyways, but how much positions do you want to give up? If you went into the pits even after that, you might not be able to get back to the top 5 or 10 because time would just run out. So it was a gamble. Obviously it paid off, you know, huge for y'all last night, and tonight I think it might. As you see Axiom out front, Yost kind of falling back a little bit there in 6th place spot. Powell got around, you know, Murphy got around 10. Powell still trying. You go back to Jamie Smith, Ed Brown, and Jason Day all rounding out the top 10.
There's some heavy hitters right there at the fight for that top 10 spot with Chris Carroll and Jason Day. Jason Day is last season's modified champion of this series. And I mean, Chris Carroll, he wins about everything he sits in, it seems like, as of late.
On the back of Mettler? Oh.
That is me. That is Brandon Mettler on the left. That is Tanner Marr, a.k.a. me, on the right.
Oh, okay.
So we're teammates. We're actually really good friends, but we got in a pretty big argument.
Well, we just saw that.
Oh, Jason Day took a bad lick right then, huh?
Oh, man.
Took a bad lick.
And he went right into the pits, but let's first go, because the caution didn't come out for Jason Day. Somehow he got into the pit really quick and the caution didn't go. But let's see, he just bounced right off, hit the wall, then came up in and then instantly towed, which probably should have thrown a caution right there, but it didn't. So let's go back on Brandon Mettler, which was after the fact, who just got caught up and then the wall came out, snapped down, bite him. We were just talking about him. So, wow. Just like that. Double chaos on the track.
Yeah, that got crazy right there. So, as a race control, I don't know how to call that one. So I just told him no EOL. I mean, I don't know how else to really do that.
Well, actually, both the guys who wrecked there are going to be in the back anyways.
Right, and that's kind of the way I looked at it anyways. They're towards the back anyways.
I mean, they bounced off their own and wrecked. Luckily, nobody else was involved. It just was just one of those. We've said it I don't know how many times, just kind of a product of these cars. Even though they got those little roll bars on the side, you can get away with a little bit of side bumping. They are still considered open wheel machines. You grab those tires and they are almost like Indy cars, and you're going to go stepping up on them, and it can send you flipping like we just saw there.
Absolutely. It's just something to do, like you said, with open wheel, and they get on the wall and you either climb the wall or you just get suction cup to it.
iRacing, that's more of an iRacing thing here. You said that a couple weeks ago with these cars, and I agree with it because I've never, I always reference Bowman Gray because that's their main cars, this right here. And as many times I've ever seen those cars, and it's a quarter-mile track, I've never seen those cars roll up the wall even there, and they're on the wall. So I think it's more of an iRacing thing, like what you mentioned, a couple weeks ago. But yeah, now while we're in the caution, bring up something, because we're closing down to the closing of this season here for the Tour Mods, and our super late models just started. But the Tour Mods here, we got a points battle heating up.
Yes, sir. So I actually got the points pulled up, and the way we're sitting right now, Joe, Thomas Axiom is currently leading the points over Jason Raymond by a margin of, just want to make sure I get it correctly, make sure I refresh, by a margin of 16 points right now. But
is there any drop weeks? Is there any drop weeks?
There's two drop weeks.
Okay.
Has anybody the real battle, no, they don't go in until the last 2
races. Okay, so this is just pure points right now. Okay.
Yep. But the real battle that's heating up is third, fourth, fifth, and sixth are only separated by a total of 13 points.
Oh wow! So we got us a battle, Manhattan, and like you said, that's probably what Thomas Axiom here is. He would love to put in victory lane tonight because that's just going to extend that lead even more. As you see, Raymond able to get around Carpenter there for the second place. Huge battle going on back here now, around 6th, 7th, and 8th place spots. You got Yo Brown. I almost hit Yo for a second, but Brown, Smith, and company, they're side by side. And again, we've just seen that high lane not the place to be.
I honestly thought it would be, Joe, too. But yeah, I mean, that bottom line on these restarts, they got all the advantage going into turn one, and it's proven here. So if you're on the outside as the race goes, and we're watching Jamie Smith in the 88 here, he's able to hang alongside Brown there, but he's not really able to make ground up. He's actually, in fact, losing ground with Chris Carroll going to try to come around him as well.
And that was a power move by Chris Carroll, too. I mean, I don't know if you saw that. He was able to hang on. They were almost 3 wide there for a moment, and he was able to hang on. And unfortunately, Frank Barb, well, I tell you what, his problems just keep growing and continue. Just got into the wall and was really slow there, and just cut down on a car his way. Wow.
Riding on Keith Mack's way. Those are teammates too. I can only imagine.
I'm surprised iRacing did not throw a caution with that.
That's twice we've seen now some wonky cautions here tonight, Joe.
Like last night, they were iRacing was on it, throwing cautions for them just sliding tonight. I mean, they're hanging out in the track, and it's like, I think the flagman's asleep, but go back here to Carroll was talking about coming through earlier. That move he put on, he was almost 3 wide and was able to hold down the inside. He didn't go totally 3 wide with him, but he was able to hold the inside. It got him around Yo there. He wasn't able to take Brown. Brown was able to take in front of him, but Carroll, I tell you, I watch him in those super late models, and he is able to just come through the field. Now, last night he was able to get out front and just, hang on to that lead and just never give it up. Just almost like what Thomas Axiom is right now.
Very, very similar. I mean, very similar. Once Chris got out front last night, me and Josh Sexton, we tried to chase him down, but it was like he just had an extra 10th on us at all times. And that's basically what we're seeing here with Thomas Axiom, who's currently jumped out. Not a huge lead. He's got a 0.3 of a second lead over Jason Raymond, and there's your 2 points battle right there too. That's first and second in points. Thomas Axiom, Jason Raymond as they're running.
Absolutely. So right now you got Axiom out front, Raymond in second, Carpenter third, Murphy. We got a pretty good, don't want to jinx it, a pretty good green flag run right now. Murphy's sitting in fourth. Coffee trying to work him over that Red Bull machine. You got Powell behind him, a little bit spread out between the field. Brown and Carroll. Now Carroll's coming through the field. You got Yo in the 9th place and Smith rounding out the top 10. Keith Mack is the man in 11th, and in the first car lap down would be Frank Barb sitting back in the 12th place spot. As far as lap times go, though, I'm going to tell you, this right here, we talk about lap times and because it tells us a lot. Yes, folks, you see them spread out on the track, but the reason you're not seeing anybody come through the field like gangbusters, even though Carroll's maybe pick off a few here and there, is the leader just ran, as we're in the caution, just ran a 16:47, and the 11th place person ran a 16:61, and that's only 2/10 different. I'm not sure. Was this competition caution?
That was competition caution. Joe, we've got there quick tonight, brother.
Did too, man. Yeah, not used to it. Usually we're in it, so it's actually turned out a pretty good one. And now, I forgot about that. And well, I would have thought he'd have pitted. Wow. Okay. And I was about to say, I actually forgot about the competition caution when I was talking earlier about will the leaders pit or not. You see, Carpenter did. Yo, Smith, Keith Mack on pit road are all only ones who come in. Carroll pitted on lap 33. He only had a 9-second pit stop, so I'm just take he probably maybe took 2 tires or no tires. But is this a smart move by Axiom and them boys up there to not pit?
I
think it is.
I don't know, Joe. I don't know. Now, this is the first time we broke off. Now, granted, that wasn't a long green flag run, by no means. It was a decent green flag run, though. It was. I mean,
I've said a million times that Smith is going to be the first one out there, and he's going to be back in 8th. Now, he does have 7 other cars. If he can get through several of those cars, and then maybe, let's say, a caution fly, and then after that, he only has a couple more to get to Axiom, and he has no problem getting through those, then it pays dividends. If he has any kind of trouble, by the time he gets to Axiom and Raymond and them, those tires will fall off. It's almost like, I forgot who said it last night in the interview, but he mentioned it. Actually, I think it was Carroll who said that he saw that the tires, he learned from the week prior, that when he made that pit stop late in the race, that even though he might have been faster, the tires neutralized so quick, they evened out so quick on the track that it didn't benefit him, and that's why he stayed out this week, and obviously, paid for him and he was able to win.
Absolutely right. It's going to be interesting here. I mean, if they break off another green flag run the way they did, I would have to think, because this field's not humongous. It's not a huge field. It's not a real small field, but it's not humongous. I just lean towards these fresh tires are going to pay off. I think tonight's going to be the night we finally see it happen.
All right. And I've always said on short tracks, it should pay off because the lap time's been different. But then again, you got also, we talk about how hard it is to pass. That is a factor in it too. But as far as lap times goes, usually newer tires should be the better option. But we'll see. As green flag flies, Axiom gets that huge jump out front. Let's see what's happening back here in the back around about with Carroll, Carpenter, and Smith. You already see these guys beating and banging. That's
not
Smith.
gonna last, boys. You can't. You can hit a couple times, but they saved it with green flag racing. But you can't hit too many times like that.
Nah, but a little excitement right there between Yo and Smith. And I know Bradley's going, hey, Yo, man, get off of me. What's going on here? We got Carroll. It looks like there's a car off the track. Who that was, but go back up here to where we've got our first guy, Carroll, who pitted at lap 33. I don't think he took tires. And then Carpenter, we're talking about. He's the first one with the newer tires. Right now, I'm just not seeing those tires help him.
No, this is not telling me it's any good. So if I was racing out here tonight, you could tell by the way I talk, I would have took tires right then.
But here's the thing.
It's not.
But but we're saying that right now. But then again, he could be doing the strategy of let these guys fan out and get single file, then I'll just pick them off one by one, which we're starting to see. And that's the smart route to do. That's just smart racing on his end and the patience that we talk about. Don't get up there and try to battle with these guys when they're side by side. Let them get fanned out single file. I got newer tires. I'll be able to stick it down on the inside, maybe the outside, and get those passes.
That's definitely the most safest and best way to pass. I mean, it's hard to be patient whenever you know you're faster than the guy in front of you, but if you can have that patience, you can have a clean nose at the end of the race when it matters the most. That's for sure.
Yeah. And you can see right now, this is what we're talking about, those newer tires. And he's doing what he needs to do, just pick them off one by one. And when I talk about lap times, let's see, here's another, I think he ran a 16:08 to a 16:25. So even with the newer tires, it's not that much of a difference. And every time he passes a car, it does slow him down. That's not what we're going to see in front of him, but every time he passes a car, it does slow him down just quite a bit. But right here is a perfect example of what short track and new tires should look like coming through the field. Picking them off one by one and just coming through the field like this, slowly but surely.
You're exactly right, Joe. We had
Smith right now still just can't get out of traffic though with his. This is what you don't want to see. And then you got Yo behind him right there. I mean, Yo is on new tires, maybe a little bit. I'm going to say it, maybe not quite as patient. He's probably going, all right, Smith, go. We're losing time here. We got to go. The guys in front of us, battling. Those two guys are on newer set of tires, trying to race to the front, just like Carpenter has, but just hasn't had the luck. What's up, Matt? How you doing? 5 Kings tonight. They're doing pretty good. 44's out there.
Currently running second, trying to chase down that elusive cat. It's been a dog and cat race all night.
Why ain't y'all trying to recruit Thomas?
Oh, Joe, I got too many drivers to handle with now, man. I can't add nobody else in the mix.
I hear you.
Although Thomas will be a good addition, that's for sure.
Here's that one. Good battle. And I was about to say it was a good battle, but it just ended in chaos. And those two were going at it for several laps. Wow. Not going to be too many birthday cakes there. Now it's going to be interesting, and you do see now here's Thomas coming in. I think it's a good call. It is, well, I'm gonna say it is a good call, and the reason why I'm gonna say that's a good call now is because everybody else came in behind him. If everybody stayed out and Thomas came in, then I'd be like, I don't know. Because by the time he'd get back to the front, but here really isn't a bad cut. This is probably the best scenario Thomas could get. Everybody comes in with him. If he comes back out here in fourth, which he's going to, he's going to be in fourth with some new tires, so he's not going to have 3 to try to get back up front. So we go back and we talk about pit strategies. This right here is probably the best scenario we've seen all season long.
He's sitting in a good spot right now because they've put 20 laps or so on their tires. And
he's going to have two guys to go around in the front now.
Right.
Instead of like Carpenter, who had to come through almost like 7 or 8 guys. Thomas has only got to go through 2.
Exactly. So some of the guys that took first tires. Now, granted, we did see Carpenter. He was taking his time picking them off. But it don't matter. Even if you're being cautious, you're still going to use your tires some. It's inevitable. I mean, yes, you can mitigate it and not use them as much as, say, if you were out there just turning qualifying laps. But it's still 20 race laps on them tires, and we're gonna have the eye test here, and we're gonna be able to see if there's a difference or not. And Thomas Axion's fast. I mean.
And I'm going to go along with what you're saying, too. And also, this might actually make Carpenter, since now Axion's only a couple positions behind him, run that car a little bit harder than he wants to at the start. And it's going to use more tires. Good.
Absolutely. All Thomas has to do, if Thomas gets a good jump here, I mean, he can harass Carpenter like crazy. And then we see it a lot in this series and Super Late Model Series and in any race. If second place is faster than first place, they're right there just hounding them constantly.
You know what I'd have done, though? I would have took...
What's that?
Can the leader pick which lane he wants?
Absolutely.
I would have went to the top. And I would have put Axiom behind Coffee. Because here, when he takes off, Axiom's got those brand new tires. Guess what's going to happen? Right, what's going to happen right here? He's going to just shooting right on back up under him. That's going to put him on his back bumper.
Absolutely. So that's that short track playing chess when everybody else is playing checkers.
Yeah,
I like it, Joe.
Yeah, and that's... Oh, and the 2 goes around.
Oh, Zach Murphy going around, and I think he did get into the wall here. I'm going to have to see this replay.
Let's go back on the replay one more time. Just watch it. But yeah, I mean, going back on that restart, if I was Carpenter, I would have on a restart because you just saw Axiom get by those new tires. They were going to hold that grip on the inside. But let's see what happened to it says the 2, but it's actually 18. Wiggle a little bit right there. he just overdrove the turn.
Yeah,
Got back on the throttle. Just got back on the throttle.
That's something we have not seen all night.
Well, he hadn't pitted. He hadn't pitted, so he was on some old tires. And, you get back on that throttle really, really hard. So, did Axiom get around Coffee? If he did, boy, I'll tell you what, Carpenter, now you definitely would want to put Axiom on the outside. But on that restart, I probably would, the last restart we had, Carpenter probably, I don't know if he was just not thinking about it or what, but I would have went on the outside. I'm going to get the jump anyways as the leader, so I'm going to beat Coffee to that turn 1. But it would have put Axiom behind Coffee to where he would have had a battle with him, and maybe saved him, a couple laps or anything. Chess match, that's what we're calling. Enjoying the races out there, Matt? So far, it's been a good one. We've had some pretty good long green flag runs. A few little cautions here and there. Nothing just kind of out of the ordinary. Right now, we're talking about tonight's race is actually turning out to be more of a pit strategy style race. In the past, we've seen the leaders just not pit. Tonight, it's been, well, who made the right choice on pit road, and pretty much who's going to. And right now, I'm going to say it's going to be Thomas Axiom. From what we see, made the right call tonight as far as when to pit, at the time to pit over Carpenter. So we'll to see if it pays off, or does Carpenter be able to hold him off here? I don't know, because Axiom was right there as they were started back on the green flag. So let me know who your favorite drivers are out there. I don't know. It's just. It could be anybody's race. We got Carroll up in 5th place, too.
That's what I was thinking. So Carroll's not familiar with these cars at all. He started P14. He's currently up to 5th and all. Yeah, I forgot, Joe. It's going to be a single file restart since them boys didn't complete a lap. That's in iRacing hands, not ours.
And I'm going to go out on a limb here. I normally say this benefits the leader, and it will on the start. But in this scenario, I think really this is what Thomas Axiom might want to see, because now it gives him free reign of how he wants to tackle Carpenter, and he doesn't have to worry about the Coffee. Even though Coffee tried to jump right there on the inside of him, just those tires are just not strong enough to hold. So now Axiom, with these laps, is going to try to figure it out. One thing is, Carpenter does not want to give that inside lane up. They don't want to give the outside up either, but
I don't know about the outside either. They're going to be side by side. Right Carpenter got into him. I think we saw a little bit of Nick code.
Yeah, that one.
I got to watch this back, Joe.
Yeah, let's go back and. That one there, that was close. I mean, that was just really close. Let's go back and see. Maybe try to slow it down just a little bit, because Axiom was there. He might have thought he was clear. Those two guys just came together. You saw Carpenter, slide out and go up the wall. That's just new tires there bullying, and you see them right here coming out of the turn. Just come together. I mean, that's a tough one. It really is. I mean, and then you see nothing that Coffee could do, because Carpenter was slowed up. He just got in the back of Carpenter, and really just nothing that he could do at that point. It's kind of just an accordion effect from there on in. It's just that, I don't know. I mean, neither one of the guys are going to be happy. It's just, me, hard racing.
That's all it is. I mean, I watched it back on my end. And now the drivers, I think they would have touched, but Netcode did them no favors then either. Yeah. There was still daylight between them, a little bit of daylight too. Now, granted, they may have still was going to hit. I'm not sure, but Netcode definitely did them no favors that time.
And as far and on Coffee right there just really had nothing he could do. I mean, with Carpenter, after the contact, checked up a little bit, and the closing rate of these cars. So as far as Coffee goes, I mean, that's basically accordion. You saw several other cars getting in each other. Again, we take it back to that saying we say a lot, short track racing. So Raymond is sitting on new tires. That is true. Raymond is on he pitted at lap 70. Carroll sitting in third, pitting at lap 70. So now several of the new guys, don't count, Axiom out. He's not out of this yet. Now that spin hurts those tires just a little bit, but you're right. You've got Raymond, Carroll, Ed Brown, all three of those guys pitted at lap 70, newer tires. Coffee out front. Remember, he hasn't pitted yet all race. Not saying he can hold these guys off, but it's going to be a chore.
Oh yes, absolutely going to be a chore. We just saw what Axon was able to do on fresh tires. Was able to muscle that car on the outside. And I think what it is, Joe, I think that fresh rubber is just giving them such a good launch off on exit that it's just
confidence. Confidence.
Right, and that's what I was getting to. Another part of it though is in your mind. You just have so much more confidence in the car and what you can do with the car on fresh rubber.
That's why we see a lot of accidents on restarts, like with guys that just
overconfidence.
Pit. Yeah, you see guys on new tires and on a restart. That's why we see a lot of the wrecks and stuff. Is on new tires, you feel like Superman.
It's Coffee got a great restart right there. It's going to let Carroll come to the inside of the 44. They're racing side by side right now.
And that's what Coffee wants to see. He wants to see those guys back there racing. It gives him tear those tires up a little bit back in the back.
We got a wreck in the 3 and 4.
Brown, go back on the replay here. Ed Brown, he was actually up to about 4th or 5th. See what happened to him. He's in at 9, and did he just lose it?
Looked like Zach Murphy got into him a little bit, but Netco did him no favors again there, Joe. Now, it may look different on your end, but I rewinded it back twice. And
okay. I'm going to tell you, if Coffee wants anything done, what he saw in his rearview mirror is what he wants. He wants Carroll and Raymond and all those guys to get battling hard. What that's going to do is the more they battle, it's just going to use those tires up, and then eventually when they do, get by each other, maybe they'll be used up enough to where they just can't run down Coffee or get around him. Because we see how hard it is to pass here. They won't be able to make that power move to the outside we saw earlier. Tell you, that Carroll guy, whew. He is fast, man. He is fast week in and week out. Wow.
He is, and it don't matter what he sits in.
Yes. Got his Napa know-how machine. He definitely knows how to get it to the field. He knows how to race right here. You got Raymond sitting in 3rd. Axiom sitting back there in 4th. Murphy, he's able to punch it back up there in 5th. Remember earlier on, sliding a little bit. Powell up there in 6th. Keith Mack been kind of quiet all night long, but sitting in 7th. Jamie Smith there in 8th. Brad Carpenter early on. Now he didn't put any tires on. He did pit. Back in 9th, Ed Brown rounds the top 10, and the yo man himself, Bradley, is not here. Think he's disconnected? He done?
Who is it, Joe?
Bradley Yo.
Yes.
When I click on him, he's not there.
Yeah, he dropped out about 3 cautions ago.
Now, incident limits. We haven't really talked much about it, but actually tonight, really, there hasn't been a lot of contact and a lot of stuff going on. But there again, I think the incident limit, is 20?
29, Joe. Sorry, I was talking
20. Okay.
20,
so would y'all
29.
go up? Y'all went up? Because I know one time was 25. You said 20.
It was 20. It was 25. We bumped them up because there was like 4 drivers that got DQ'd. 2 of the drivers got DQ'd. Literally got no EOLs that night. So nothing was at their fault, that night.
Right.
So we bumped it up to give them one more 4X, and then you get 1X to play with. So
I got you. Okay. Well, he strokes in, single file start. Coffee's there. Now this is probably what I think. Yeah, Coffee Pro would have loved to have seen a double file that would have gave Raymond a chance to get up there into the back end of Carroll, because now Carroll's going to be all over Coffee. We'll see what happens. You see, Coffee's able to maintain a good lead over Carroll. And even though that they have pitted, you got to realize or understand that, Carroll came in at lap 70 and that Coffee is yet to pit, but behind him, Axiom's not giving up on Raymond. Good battle for third and fourth, and little contact. What a save.
That's twice now. That's 2 nights in a row Jason Raymond's been able to save that machine.
That was a good save, man, I tell you.
Don't say that, Joe. He sends me clips of whenever you said that. Last night when you said it, he sent me a clip. He was smiling from ear to ear. We don't need Jason Raymond to get any bigger up ahead. He won't be able to fit his headset on anymore.
I tell you, some good stuff. I mean, because he wasn't he the one who did the awesome slide through the turn.
Yes,
that looked beautiful.
He got so sideways, I raced through the caution, but he saved it. It was a really good save.
Yeah, that was nice. I gotta give
But
him
that's
credit.
a tough break for him right there now, because he went from rolling third to now rolling fifth, and has Zach Murphy out in front of him, a driver that don't make a whole lot of mistakes. But Coffee's doing good with these old tires, Joe. Now, granted, in about 5 or so laps after they get the heat back in them, I think is when you really start seeing the difference.
Right.
But man, since this restart, he's looked really strong.
Let's do. You talk about, all right, Coffee has not pitted. Let's go on board with him and let's watch him for a lap or so here and watch how he drives this car. Is he really out there wrestling with the wheel, or how smooth he is? He looks smooth coming out of that turn. He's heading off into 1 and 2. Looks kind of smooth right there. Not really fighting the wheel a lot. A little bit, coming out there, but nothing too dramatic.
What I'm noticing,
3 and 4. Well, what I'm going to get at here in just a second is I want to see the difference between how he's driving and Carroll's driving. And Carroll being on those newer tires. And we see right there, Alex Coffee actually pretty smooth around the track for the most part to be on older set of tires. Now, let's go to the vice versa side. On a newer set of tires, which are at this point starting to wear out a little bit, you see Carroll looks like he's fighting that car just a little bit more than what Coffee is. Yeah, he might be driving a little harder. Yeah.
And the thing about Carroll is, if you ever jump in his cockpits, I've even commented to him before, he's really smooth normally. So
yeah, right there. Wow. Yeah, he is more. And that's going to, now I think you got Axiom on his inside, so that's even going to make him a little bit more even upset. But yeah, just to give you an idea, you would think that Carroll would be a lot more smoother. So let's go on board here with Axiom, and as we do, these guys are wrestling with their car, so I got to give my hats off to Coffee. Coffee in those older set of tires out there looks very smooth around the track. Now, one, he's out there in clean air by himself, didn't have to worry about anything, but you saw the two guys there, Axiom and Carroll, even by themselves, fighting with those cars, and you see Carroll now is off the pace.
Once Axiom got around him, it just things flip-flop here, and now this is something we haven't seen all night. Axiom hasn't not had to be P2 and try to chase the leader around for very long.
That's what Coffee don't want to do. Got in the wall.
Right, got in the wall a little bit. And that's them old tires, though, Joe. It's just, it deceives you. You think you're going to make it off the corner, and then that car, it never just fully grips up, and it just pushes up the track, and then before you know it, you're getting into the wall. It looks like Axiom has closed the gap in on him for sure.
And here's a mental thing for Axiom. There's about 18 to go. He knows time's running out, and those laps will go by quick. But you've got to manage this. Yeah, you got to have a sense of urgency, but you've also got to be patient too, because you don't want to use up every bit of your car trying to get around Coffee or trying to even get to him. I mean, he is there, and you know you're faster. Just keep doing what you're doing, and yeah, instead of maybe having a couple shots at it, you might only have one shot to get. Well, never mind. Whoa. As Coffee lost it, Owen Carroll got involved, yellow flag out.
You know what?
Everything I just said, throw out the window.
Listen here, though, Joe. That might be the best thing for Coffee. And now, granted, he was leading, right? We're going to go green. There's going to be about 12 laps. There ain't going to be enough time.
No, there's no way. Even if Coffee goes, my thing, Coffee doesn't pit unless he just wants to finish back in. Well, he's going to finish in the top 10 no matter what. But unless he wants, I feel like his chances of a top 3 stay where you're at.
Because the caution came out quick for him, so he's not going to lose a lot of spots.
Well, he's going to stay in second.
Right, yeah, that's where he's at.
So I really feel, and Carroll got almost involved there. He had to check up, so that hurt his time. So he was hanging on pretty good. no, it might not win him the race, but it could get him a, like you said, a podium finish here, or maybe even a top 5 at that. I feel like if he was to pit and take tires, which is, in the back of everybody's mind, he just wouldn't have enough time to even maybe get back to 5th place.
Oh, Joe.
What?
Race control, EOL coffee.
Oh, okay. Well, then never mind. Go pit. Now, is that due to him bringing out the caution?
They just said. Oh,
because he spun
EOL.
on his own.
Yeah,
he didn't hit
EOL.
anybody. I was just saying I didn't know if that's the rule that if you bring the caution out on your own that you get the EOL, because I know he didn't get into anybody or anything like that. It's basically he just spun on his own. Just kind of getting clarification on the rules there. Okay, I was going to say, if he did get an EOL, yes, you go in and get 4 tires then. There's no question. Because you're going to be at the end of the longest line no matter what. But at this point here, no, you stay out. What are we going to have? 13, 14 to go, maybe? I can't read my other screen. Bring it over. Okay, well, yeah, we're going to have, about 12 to go. 12, 11 to go when we go back. So, yeah, I say stay out. What do you think?
If he got the EOL, go to the back, take him. Because you all you have is net positive chance. Because you're going to gain some spots. But he showed he had good speed. Maybe he didn't have the pace over Axiom.
And that could have been, that spin right there could have been him just worried of Axiom coming, right, and he just overdrove the turn.
Driving a little harder.
Yep, on old tires. And hey, it gets the best of us. I mean, every driver out there has done that. And that was maybe the psyche that Axiom wanted, was to just get up there on his back bumper, make him make that mistake, and we saw it's a green flag, Axiom back out front. Now, this is what Coffee does want to see in his rear view. He wants to see Murphy, Carroll, and Raymond and all those guys battle a little bit, but you see Carroll get away, and here they are. They're back at it, almost 3 wide.
That's not going to work here at 5 Flags. They knew better of it. They dipped out of it. You got Chris Carroll and Zach Murphy. They're going toe-to-toe. That's not. They are 3 wide now. Almost about to be. They got 4 names in that hat, and that's what Axiom and Coffee. They want to see that. They want to see these boys racing in their
look
mirror.
Up here. I'm gonna tell you, this is what Axiom don't want to see. Coffee says, I made a mistake. Let me see if I can get up here and make Axiom make a mistake. He is harassing the back end.
Yeah, he's hounding him.
Axiom. I said Coffee might be out of the win here, but I might have spoke too soon on this one.
You might see the bump and run here. He is within striking distance with 8 laps to go here.
We go back to this battle back here, too, around about 4th and 5th place spot. That's Carroll Murphy. Carroll's falling off the pace just a little bit. That guy's back there working hard.
They must have hit again when we went back up front, because Jason Raymond was following Zach Murphy. And now Jason Raymond's in front of Zach Murphy and Chris Carroll.
He's trying to run down those 2 up front here. Coffee is doing everything he can to harass Axiom. Axiom understands that just cannot make a mistake, but you're right, that bump and run could come into play. We love standing on short track. I don't want to see anybody wrecking them. The problem with the bump and run with these cars is these cars are so finicky and loose.
They're just on the edge.
It's very hard to do the bump and run without sending somebody around. But I'm going to tell you, Coffee's there. Axiom can feel it. And he knows if he just slips one time up the track, Coffee could be up underneath him.
We got a caution on the speedway.
Oh, Jamie Smith. Back on the replay here. Now that's what Coffee did not want to see. And just a product of the walls. Jumped out and beat him. Got up high, and he's going to just do on his lid. That's not what Coffee wanted to see, because, boy, he was harassing Axiom. He would have loved to see this thing goes green, because, he was there. And now he's got to start that mentality all over again. What a race. And that's what we was talking about. Why Coffee did not go and pit, folks. I mean, that's, right here now. He's back over battling for the win. If he'd have pitted, he wouldn't have been nowhere near around him. But still got Raymond. And Raymond's got a shot. He's up in third. Murphy and company, those guys are battling hard. Carpenter in fifth. Carroll in sixth. Brown in seventh. Powell there in eighth. Keith Mack in ninth. You got Jamie Smith around in the top 10 so far. As you got one of the 5 Kings Motorsports guys up front with Raymond, Coffee, a separate team, and Axiom, a separate team. So you got 3 different teams in the top 3.
Exactly. Joe, I try to stay unbiased. Jason Raymond, he's run up front the last 10 league races, but he's not been able to seal the deal. I'm going to throw my unbiased to the side, and I want to see how Jason Raymond in that 44 pull it out. Normally, I don't do that. Normally, I would never say that. But the kid needs to win.
He's in a good spot.
He's in a good spot.
He just needs a little help to get it done. I mean, one, he needs Murphy and Carpenter not to harass him. Two, he needs Coffee and Axiom maybe to get up there and battle with each other, or just not have the best start.
Ooh, Coffee disappeared.
Yeah,
No, there he comes back. Do you take the high side of your Axiom? Do you try to employ your strategy earlier? Either way, though, Zach Murphy's on fresh rubber, too.
Yeah, at this point,
not really
actually, no, Zach's not on fresh rubber. He only had a 4-second pit stop. But you know what? Okay. Axiom doesn't know that. See, that's the thing. He just knows he pitted. So there again, you go back to what you were asking.
Now, sometimes at this point, the same Discord. Let's see.
Okay. And listen, we'll go off to the fact that he doesn't know.
They don't.
Basically, in what you were saying, that's a good question. So in this situation, you really just don't know. But normally, I would put Raymond on that top side, or I would have switched and went up and put him behind Coffee, hoping that Coffee maybe would spin the tires. But then again, you got to think Axiom's got to be careful. And just because he pitted at lap 70, those tires are starting to get worn too. He could very much spin those tires also. Green flag.
I think that caution's going to help Axiom. It's going to give him the jump. As you see right there, he gets a great jump. Alex Coffey's got a lane change. That's
good move by Coffey.
Yeah, but we have a rule against that. But I don't know if Brandon Mettler's going to see it. I'm in the booth. He's actually doing race control for me now, so we'll see how he calls it. Because I did. That hurt.
Oh, he caught the curb. Second time he caught the curb. Coffee
flag
did.
Is out.
White flag doesn't matter. I always say, doesn't matter from this point. So the battle's going to be on for third place here. Raymond, you got Raymond and Carroll battling it out, coming out, because Axiom has pretty much got a huge lead out of turn 4. Axiom's going to win it, and Raymond's going to hang on to third. Murphy, I tell you what, Murphy came back from a spin earlier in the race. What a comeback from him and a hard charge to finish this thing out in second place. But yeah, the curb got out there and just took Coffee out of this race.
Saw it happen twice, Joe. I mean, it just kind of crazy. That just shows that that driver is pushing really, really hard, trying to get everything out of it, trying to use that curb to help rotate the car maybe, and just overstep the limits.
What a race. What a finish to these guys. We got third place man Raymond up here, but what a finish to this race out here tonight.
Jason Raymond, this is Tanner and Joe White in the OSR Networks booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you guys.
Another strong podium finish for Mr. Raymond in that 44 ugly green machine. I only say that because he's my buddy, folks. So, Raymond, you led 78 laps last week. Came up just a little short last week. Came out here tonight. Started 5th, finished 3rd. Talk me through your race tonight, brother.
Yeah, I feel like tires definitely did play a role here. I definitely wasn't able to keep up with Axiom, and feel like I definitely had like a P2 car, but I hit the wall a couple times. That's all. I mean, nothing I could have done. But there was a couple close moments there, like right on that last piece in front of me. I thought it was done right there. I didn't think I had any chance of staying up here and getting on the podium.
But yeah, whenever Coffee got sideways, I know it kind of killed your momentum. And he also did a little bit of a lane change right there in front of you. But race control didn't say nothing. I'm in the booth at that point, out of my hands. But still, nonetheless, you're second place in the points. Axiom is going to gain a little points on you tonight. But with them drop weeks, Jason, anything's possible. You got any sponsors or shots you want to thank that makes that a 44 go so fast here lately?
Oh yeah, for sure. I got to thank my parents, you guys for doing the broadcast this week. and also all the guys over at 5 Kings Motorsports. I gotta thank the Barn Package Store, Pile Chief, Malconi Setup Shop, thebuttkicker.com, MF Racing Designs, Savage Edge Apparel, FB Sim Racing Button Box, Raise Energy, and BAM Racing Videos.
Awesome job, brother. Awesome job. Congratulations, Jason Raymond. That win's coming, buddy. You just got to keep at it. It's coming pretty quick. That's Jason Raymond in the 44 machine, brought it home P3 tonight at Five Flags Speedway.
What a finish here. We're going to bring up our second place man tonight, Zach Murphy, who just had an up and down, but a good hard charging finish.
Zach Murphy, this is Tanner Marr and Joe White in the OSR Network booth. You got us?
We got you guys.
So, I mean, you just heard it right then. Joe White said, I didn't write you off earlier whenever you self-spun, but it was getting late in the race, so I was getting nervous. I didn't know if you were going to have the time really to get back up here, but you did. Talk me through your race.
Well, I definitely made it interesting.
Yeah.
I didn't get end practice laps. I had stuff going on, so I just jumped in, qualified pretty low, and just tried to be patient, worked our way up through. And yeah, when I put the new tires on, I wasn't used to that, and had a little self-spin on the outside. But we recovered and got back up here. At the end of the race was a little crazy there. I'm not quite sure. He caught the apron, and I was on the outside. Jason had to check up. Next thing you know, I finished second, so we'll take it.
Right. I mean, it played out in your favor. So me and Joe, I think we were under the impression that you didn't take tires, but so to hear that you did, new tires for the first like 5 to 10 laps on new tires wasn't better, was it? I could tell whenever. So Coffee stayed out, and he jumped out pretty far on the guys that actually had fresh rubber behind him.
Yeah, those first 5 laps they were a little slick. As you could tell, I got on the outside. I wasn't used to that, and got into the throttle. Next thing you know, I was around, and made it interesting, but a little embarrassing. But hey, that happens.
Hey, it happens. You still brought it back. P2 missed you some this season. I know you went on vacation, so those drop weeks are going to come in handy. You finished second in the points last season. I know that win's coming for you pretty soon as well. Like I just told Jason, you got any sponsors or shout-outs you want to throw out there?
Yeah, Axon's been tough to beat, but hopefully we'll find a win one of these weeks. I just like to thank the guys over at Simcrags for each and every week, and thank you guys over at Crooked for putting us on.
All right, absolutely, Zach. Good job tonight. Good job on the P2 finish, and we'll see you next week. If you just give me 1 second, I'll tell you where the track's at.
Yeah.
Mainly just because I want to know myself. I'm a great admin, ain't I? That I don't even know where we're going next.
Honestly, I didn't know where we were going until I got in tonight.
We're going to Wilkesboro. Then we're going to go to Langley, and then we're going to finish it up with the double points night at New Hampshire. Before I cut you loose, Zach, how many laps you think at New Hampshire? You've raced with us before. You know how New Hampshire is. That's to be determined. What do you think?
Yeah, I don't want to go too many. I think somewhere 100, somewhere in there is good. 120 maybe.
I was thinking 150, but yeah. we'll put a poll out. So just if you.
It is the end of the season, so it will be 150. Right.
So we'll see. We'll vote on it, but good to have the input. Good job here tonight, Zach Murphy. Good run, buddy, and we'll see you next week at the historic North Wilkesboro.
Thanks, buddy. I guess my only input is make it so we have to take fuel once.
Okay, so you like
New
the
Hampshire
fuel strategy.
Okay. Makes it interesting for sure for people.
All right, right on, buddy. We'll keep that in mind.
You guys have a good night.
See you, Bubba.
Well, we ran down here. We got the winner here tonight. I tell you, Murphy is just up and down and a good hard charge. This guy, Axiom, was able to overcome some little bit of adversity to get this win. I got to ask, though, Thomas, was you a little worried there a couple times there at the end of the race?
Just a little racing deal. I knew everyone was on the same tire, so I was okay with that. And I did know that that leader there, I knew Coffee did not pit. And I noticed every single week the old tires, like I heard you guys just say, the old tires are faster for a little bit. So them green white checkers actually don't play in our favor. The guys on tires are missing a tenth or so. Just on the first 5 laps. Like, if the 10th might not sound like a lot, but it's a lot if he can cut down better on exit, be underneath you.
Absolutely. Now, I'll tell you, out front, when Coffee got into trouble there, you were able to get around him, and he just seemed like he just caught that curve. But hey, you had a fast car, and you talk about the tires and the tires out there. I mean, when you took your pit, because it worked out perfect. We've talked week in and week out about who this week is going to be the one that just stays out the whole entire race. I thought at first that you probably were. But if anybody made a pit stop at the right time and the right place, I'd have to say you did it, because you still came back out in 4th place spot. When you saw that, did that kind of make you excited a little bit, or what was going through your mind?
Yeah, it definitely get me excited. First one out on fresh tires, and you know who's where and what lane you're starting in. A couple of times that I was thinking about starting in the top as the leader, just because I know who would be there behind me, and there's definitely some fast guys tonight, and there's gonna be very racy. The bottom groove definitely was where you wanted to be. You could make the top work. It would just be a little bit sketchy because you had to pinch, but all in all, it wasn't a bad race. We did a lot of green flag laps, not as many as we should have, but better and better each week. And just the small self spins, we avoid those. That'll be those extra 15, 20 green flag laps we need.
Absolutely. Well, I'll tell you, like you said, some good long green flag runs out there. Just, a few cautions here and there, but they chalked that up onto the short track racing and hard charging. But man, I tell you, you're going to come out of here still with a points lead. A couple races to go in the season. I know that's making you feel a lot better, but you won it here tonight. 5 flags for the Five Kings Motorsports Crooked Line Racing Tour Mod. You got anybody you want to thank for the win?
Yeah, huge shout out to you guys just putting this thing on. Like I said before the race started, Five Kings guys, a bunch of guys in the field. Great to race with them. Wish we need some more guys out there, but besides that, I mean, it's a great group. Just need a couple more people. And then just my own sponsors, Studio 10 Designs, Bernier's Liquors, and Arkham Motorsports. And with the New Hampshire race, the final race, 100 laps around there is a lot. So I'd say make it 150.
That's what I was thinking.
Or 2 75-lap races with an invert after the first race.
That's why I'll give you a
peek behind the curtain. That may be something that y'all can talk about afterward.
Yeah, that's why we have the TBD on there, because that's been thrown around. So
I hear you.
Well, that's something to look forward to. I mean, it seems like y'all got a lot of great ideas and a lot of things. And folks, I mean, hey, if you're listening out there, it's going to be exciting. And that's actually the season finale. So, but man, tonight y'all made it exciting. I know me and Tanner was up here at the edge of the seat, a lot of what was going to happen, who had the best strategy and who didn't. But Thomas, as always, you've proven you got fast cars, good strategy, able to hang on, and it puts you in victory lane again. Congratulations.
Thank you, gentlemen. Excited to see you guys next week.
There we
see you,
go.
buddy. Good luck.
I'll tell you what, Tanner, man, what a race, what a finish, and you know, I tell you, it actually was a really good race out here. We had, obviously, a few cautions out there, had some long green flag runs, some pit strategies, so you really had just about everything in a race here tonight.
You absolutely did tonight, Joe. And, I'll be honest, I kind of stressed when we have about 13, 14 car fields, but the racing has stepped up leaps and bounds. It's gotten a lot better with the little bit smaller field. Now, that's not what I would love to see 30 cars out here, but on these short tracks, that's not a whole lot of room. You put that many cars out there, mistakes do happen, and we've seen it all season. But I think tonight was one of our better races.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, I'll tell you what, folks, hope you enjoyed it. Like I said, we'll see you here next week for the Tour Modifieds tonight. Five Kings Motorsports Crooked Line Racing. For myself and everyone, have a good night.